This is Oilersnation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Bagged Milk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
After 18 minutes, technical delays, we're here. You didn't know that, though, but I'm looping you in. I'm bringing you behind the curtain. Tyler.
This may still crash on us.
It could.
If the video stops, we're just not having video today. I'm not fixing it again.
You can hear Tyler is over the computer system.
Yeah.
We were going to move upstairs. Logistical issues. So Tyler had to fix it. And Tyler doesn't care about the video.
Angry
Tyler. Liam, thoughts?
I'm with him. Don't touch shit.
Is that what it is? People fuck around?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to send an email.
Oh,
can you read out the email? Delicious debate. What should Tyler write in the email?
Dear sir or madam or whom it may concern.
I hope this finds you well.
But ends you not so well.
I hope this finds you right square on the jaw.
Let's get into the delicious debate for our friends at Odd Company. Proud to partner with Odd Company to bring you the all-new Nation Beer. Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for the next big game or your next go-to lager. Find it at Odd Company Brewing at either of their Edmonton locations or at liquorconnect.com. Search it out. Find it at a liquor store near you. If it's not a liquor store near you, ask them why not. Today, the delicious debate is easy. Last night, second period, Darnell Nurse got kicked out for a little love tap. Quinton Byfield. Today, this morning, it was announced he's got a meeting with the Department of Player Safety. The delicious debate is, what is the outcome of that meeting? Liam, starting with you.
Don't look at me like that, Rick. I can feel your presence already. I think so. This season in the NHL, there has been 3 players suspended for cross-checking. Timo Meier got one, which, to give you context to what it was with Zachary Leroux on Nashville, I believe is how you say his name. And they were kind of jousting.
Definitely say it Nashville.
Huh?
Definitely pronounce it Nashville.
But never mind. They were jousting. Sticks got Leroux grabbed the stick and it ended up hitting him in his own jaw. He got 1 game. The other 2 players, you guys will probably remember, Connor McDavid and Tyler Myers. Almost a Timo Meier then. Tyler Myers both got 3 games. Therefore, with the theory of the playoff game counted as 2, there's only 1 game left in the regular season. I think the NHL will suspend Daryl for 2 games for the idea.
So technically 3 games then.
Technically 3, right. But they can't suspend him for 2. So I think in the theory of like that, but the intent for Darnell Nurse was to hit Quinton Byfield on the head with his stick. Didn't ride up, didn't do anything like that. It went right on his head. And that's the meat and potatoes of it.
I'm saving Rick for last. I feel like your answer.
I just want this email on a t-shirt, please. I would like this email on a t-shirt.
I like watching Tyler angrily type away, pause, think about what's coming next, and get back to it.
He had to go delete a couple words he didn't want to put in
me
there.
On that email? I'd like to check that out.
I do have you BCC'd.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
sneaky. I'm in there. Coming over to Dan next from the Hockey Fights perspective. Darnell Nurse suspension? No, fine. Thoughts?
As soon as I saw the hit and saw the gap in between Nurse's initial hit and then going down to the ice, and it feels like he took a second to think about his options before he did the second cross check there. I really do think that 1 game is the suitable discipline and outcome here. But Darnell did himself dirty when he went to the media after the Ryan Reeves incident and when he was hitting the head there, and Reeves was suspended for 5 games. And he made the quote, and it just really applies to this situation, I think. Well, it's in situations like that, there's definitely an onus on the player with the puck to be aware of where everyone else is on the ice for sure. With that said, even if you put yourself in a bad spot, there's a lot of body on a 6'4" hockey player to hit. Byfield is 6'5", and not 1 piece was touched other than the head. And I think that that's where the real issue comes in for me is the initial hit by Darnell Nurse is nowhere on Byfield's body except for his head. He's just lucky that Byfield misses it and it grazes the back of his head. Byfield then goes down, and like I said, Nurse has a second to think about his actions and still proceeds to hit him again. I don't think that there was anything too vicious there, and I don't think you want to suspend a guy just because he didn't connect with him. But I think that the fact that he then followed it up with a secondary hit down on the ice, you've just watched Yakov Trenin punch Derek Forbort of the Canucks in the face and break his orbital bone. Is that correct?
Yeah.
In an incident during a fight.
For that?
He did not. So the league has got, I think, kind of backed themselves into a corner here. I was shocked at the idea that it could be a 3-game suspension or quote unquote 2-game suspension, but not out of the realm of possibility. I just think 1 game is the right answer.
Tyler?
McDavid got 3 games. Myers got 3 games. You can go back to last year. Carson Soucy got a playoff game for a cross-check to the face. I think the thing that changed my tune on this was Darren Dreger's tweet, where he kind of ended it by, and granted, Dreger did say 1 game or a fine, but he ended it by saying the Department of Player Safety, like sending a message before these 2 teams play in the playoffs. And I think if they set the precedent that a cross check to the face is not worth a playoff game, then they're opening the door for things to get out of hand in this series. So I think they're going to give Darnell 2 games. He's going to sit the first game of the King series. I don't agree with it because I don't think the cross check is worthy of that suspension. I don't think it's as bad as what McDavid did to Garland or what Myers did to Bouchard or what Soucy did to McDavid last year. I don't think it's on that level, but I think they're just going to want to throw some cold water on this series from the start and not have Darnell Nurse be in that first game. So I think they're going to give him the first playoff game. I'm not saying it's justified. I'm just trying to best guess what I think the Department of Player Safety is going to do. And I do think, again, if cross checks to the face or neck are worth 3 regular season games, then Darnell's getting 2 games here.
The tweet from Darren Dreger says, don't expect Nurse news anytime soon today due to the Oilers' travel schedule. The hearing isn't being held until tonight. I would be surprised if more than 1 game fine is also possible. Bit of a message before the 2 teams meet again in round 1. Rick, your thoughts?
Why do we keep calling it a cross check? That was not a cross check. It was a push to the back of the head. I've been cuffed up in the side of the back of the head growing up in the 80s, far more harder than what happened there. It looked bad. It looked bad. It looks worse than it was. But we already, I don't think Byfield left because he's injured. Well, he didn't stay out of the game. They pulled their goaltender at 5-0. Yeah, that is why Byfield didn't keep playing.
Yeah, and that's fair by the Kings.
I have 0 issues with that. I'm just saying, like, he didn't hurt him and take him off the ice.
But I don't
He stayed down on the ice, like, selling it. Keeping his head down on the ground like that.
Yeah, but you can argue about how hard it is. It's still a cross check to the back of the head.
It was a push, man. I've seen people roll out dough with more force than that.
Stick, Rick, that's a cross check.
No, it's not always a cross check, though. You can, like, it's mind-boggling that people can sit here and call that an actual cross check. I guess in the terms, we don't have a better word for it, but that's not a cross check. If those guys are standing and that's in the chest, that's not a cross check. That was weak. That was soft. It shouldn't have happened. It was a dumb play by him, but there is 0% chance that this should be rolling over into the playoffs. The Gudis hit was worse. The elbow to the back of Skinner's head was worse after that draw. That was worse. Huh? The punch through the officials that broke a dude's face
in Switzerland.
The forward one.
Oh, no,
the refs are down there, and he punches through the officials. That is way worse. That's nothing. Like, you get a phone call and a fine, and that is it. Anything else in this league this league already, when it comes to player safety or department of whatever, is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a rough sport. It's 2 teams that have been going against each other for 3 years, and they're about to do it again. If you think that giving them 1 game in the playoffs is going to stop anything, you don't understand hockey. This is a fine at most and move on.
The one thing I will say about the Trennan incident is that earlier in that fight, Forbort punched him twice while he was down on the ground, and I think that's where a bit of the ground and pound came up in it.
The Canucks fans really twisted that, because I didn't know that then.
Well, and I mean, like, that to me, that doesn't necessarily excuse Trennan's response, but I think it is important context to be mentioned.
I think he's going to get 1 game. I don't think he should, but I think
it's a fine. If you want to go
playoff game,
nope, just Wednesday's game.
Sure.
I think he should get suspended. And I think all those guys that you listed off should also be suspended.
Okay,
but this is the problem that the NHL has done to themselves.
Yes.
From our perspective as well, is we've seen McDavid get suspended, which again, I think was fair. He cross-checked Conor Garland in the face. Should have never got that far because it should have been called. But Gudis should have got a game. Trennan should have got a game. I guess maybe Forbort. I didn't see that. Like, all these guys should have been suspended or something should have happened to them. And now it's just bad by the NHL to pick Darnell Nurse out of all of this. Again, yeah, who did get a major in the incident as well, and you'd think maybe that would.
Let's go back a couple years too when they did him dirty before.
Yeah, totally. And I just, they deserve to be suspended a game. And I think, is that fair? Would you guys
One
agree?
game, 100%. I'm fine with one game.
If it bleeds into the playoffs, it's a no.
Then it's a joke.
I'm not happy that I think it could be 2 games. But
We'll
I
see.
just think it would be.
We'll find out later tonight.
You're not big on Josh Brown being in the playoff.
Well, it would bring another level to this series.
Listen, if somebody's going to cross-check Quinton Byfield in the head, it should have been Josh Brown.
To be fair to Josh Brown,
He had a good game.
although
he did things I wanted to see him do all year.
he had a good
No,
game.
he did things I wanted to see him do all year.
Yes. He had a big hit on,
he did.
it might have been Fiala, Kempe.
That was
one
just inside the zone.
Yeah, he had one on
open it?
Byfield. It's like he went out there and actually played a good role.
Yes.
Now, Tyler and I discussed this on O&E and be curious to know your thoughts. If in this hypothetical world, Darnell Nurse is suspended for game 1 of the playoffs, it is just Josh Brown that plays, right? Like you need a penalty killer.
No.
You're playing Deneen?
Oh, there's.
You would have five,
Sorry. So
What's going on with Tony Stretcher? Any updates
No,
on
he's
that?
playing.
Stetcher goes in. Wallman goes in.
Emberson, Kulak, Bouchard. You only have 5. Ekholm isn't playing.
No, that's fair. That's where I this is where I need to like talk things out here before I can say yay or nay to anything.
Regular.
Regula? He
No.
would be available to come off LTIR.
No,
It's
he's left knee issue to the full.
Yeah. How's Ryan Murray doing?
He's still working on that soft tissue.
I think Josh Brown should be good enough like at this point to be able to play one game
Yeah.
and to play that one game at that level that we need of physicality where he can play with a little bit of reckless abandon.
Yeah.
But he couldn't
because he's
last
not
night.
playing games 2 to
He
6.
couldn't last night. Like he did those things well, but he was still. I don't want to use the word I know he's like on the page 3 of this email right now. I don't want to call him a liability, but there is still like.
Well, yeah.
You're. I don't want to use that word, but you're like no. You're still.
It's fine.
Your best place is the AHL.
But who else can you put in?
Well,
there?
I'm actually glad he did not play like that all year.
I'm glad he didn't play
Because
all
if he
year.
did play like that all year,
Yeah.
he would have played more all year.
Like last night.
If he played
Well,
in the games he's played, if he played as physical as he did last night, he would have bought himself more NHL games.
Josh Brown?
I
Yes.
think something.
The Josh Brown that went -3 in 3 minutes?
If he played as physical as he did in
It would have helped him.
if he
For
would have
sure.
got a couple more games, 100%.
Yeah.
We sent him down because he didn't do what we wanted him to do.
I think the answer has to be Josh Brown.
It kind of is.
Because you don't have Ekholm, you don't have Nurse. You need someone to go out there and just essentially block shots on the penalty kill and clear it.
So it's him versus Deneen, right? Is that
Yeah,
the-
and Denis is the better player, of course.
but Brown more fits a certain role that
Yeah.
he might need.
And he's a
filled.
right shot.
You're basically playing 5 D-men and you need someone to kill penalties.
Last
So-
night, Josh
Yeah.
Brown played 13:32. That was 22 shifts. He had 4 blocks, 5 hits, and 1 shot on goal.
5 hits. How many blocks?
4.
You know what? Take away the -3,
Minus
which is
2.
important. Sorry, one of them was a penalty kill. He was on a penalty kill. Those stat lines are kind of what you want from him, right?
Other than the
Yes.
end, how was the play, Miss Lincoln? Like, you can't just take out the -3.
No, but I mean, like, he played physical. He was
play was
blocking
excellent.
shots,
But
like,
but what you're saying there is the goals technically aren't on him. He was on the ice for the
Yeah,
goals,
like,
therefore he's
he was-
20% of the goal or
Sure,
1/6
yeah.
of the goal.
But like blocking shots, making hits, just
That's
go
kind of what we
there
need out of
and
you.
Don't be a neutral player.
If you're listening to this right now and Darnell Nurse is in fact suspended for game 1,
Oh, I'm going to lose my mind.
what's your plan? Hit us up on socials. Let me know. I'm curious. There's delicious debate for our friends at Odd Company. Tyler, you done that email?
I'm stewing on it a little bit. I'm doing the responsible thing and not hitting send.
You got to put a send delay on this.
Yeah.
I myself have a 2-minute send delay because old bag milk gets a little spicy sometimes.
Hold on. Is that an actual thing?
Oh, yeah.
So what, you just like press?
I press send and then I have 2 full minutes to recall the email before it
And you
actually
just
Does
says,
it
like,
ask
can
you, hey,
undo.
are you sure?
Yep.
Or do you have to press no?
it goes, are you sure? And then there's an undo send thing that pops up. for
After
me.
2 minutes,
No, after 2 minutes it goes. So I've got that 2 minutes to be like, yeah, maybe a little much.
Oh, I see. I thought at the 2-minute mark, you just get this flashing, like, do you really want to send this? You're like,
5,
yeah.
4.
Based on what's going on over here, maybe we should implement something like that.
It's like a 30-second delay. But
15
same
You
minutes.
might need some new paint on his letters there.
Typing up a storm.
The M's coming right off. The F is blank.
Cat meme.
I'm going to give a shout out to our friends at Oodle Noodle. Are celebrating 20 years, which is the platinum anniversary. And the platinum is the traditional 20-year anniversary gift. So Oodle Noodle is introducing platinum pairings happening at Oodle Noodle from now until April 20th. So you still got a couple of days left for in-store and takeout. Only get 2 signature boxes and 2 spring rolls for $20. Oodle Noodle turns 20. I want to look back at last night's game and I want to skip over to something that happened. A clip that went out during the intermission when Philip Danault was asked about the game. And he said, I think they just have their B squad in trying to hurt us. The funny response came from Corey Perry after the game when he was asked about it, and bewildered by the comment, he just goes, what are you talking about? And I'm paraphrasing.
Which is also kind of funny. And I hate that I'm kind of taking the role of being like weirdly anti-Oilers here. Perry coming out and being like, has he seen the state of our team the last 2 weeks? We're so banged up. Then McDavid coming out and being like, no one's really all that hurt. I hate that everyone's calling us the walking wounded. It's like, which one is it?
Yeah, that was a weird comment from McDavid today.
I don't think so. Connor's
No, because I think there's 2 different things there. One, they're out because of relative injury, but they're also not hurt enough to miss game 1. There's hurt enough to miss game 80.
But it is funny that like they are the walk. We literally just saw Ekholm get put out.
Josh Brown might play in the playoffs.
Yeah, we just discussed it. Like Troy Stetch has played 7 minutes for this team and could barely go in. What did I say? Trent Frederick. I think it's fair to call them the walking wounded because they are.
Yeah. And also, I love Corey Perry's response. I think it adds a nice little bit of fuel to this rivalry. Like Phil Danault acting like the Oilers went into that game being like, we should hurt everyone is obviously insane. You're going to play the game physically because you're playing against that team in the playoffs in a week. But the idea that the Oilers were trying to hurt guys is just like, it's an eye roll.
Also, you're Philip Danault. You've been on this team for the last 3 playoff runs, and you know how the LA Kings have played the Oilers.
He knows
that. He knows Connor Brown that game.
He knows that guy named Mikey Anderson.
Yeah,
he watched what he did to Leon.
Well, you can think of like Adrian Kempe solidified McDavid earlier in the season. When we were, it was game 3 last year when it kind of all kicked off at the end because England hit Kane in the head, like all this stuff. And I'm sure the others obviously I'm innocent in this, and I understand what Danault is saying. Like he just saw Nurse crosscheck Byfield in the head. I think his comments are warranted, to be fair, but it's also very ironic that Philip Danault, who is like a known greasy player, is doing this stuff.
Yeah, he's in the rat squad.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the only appropriate thing to do is for the Edmonton Oilers organization is to make sure that the LA King dressing room, when they get here for game 3, is full of Kleenex for them. I don't want to see them get snivelly on TV. I want to make sure and get like the three ply too. I don't want to like rough up their skin. I know, that LA skin is very soft.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's make sure we take care of these guys.
I would put the AC on. Make it very, very cold in that room.
I'd crank the heat up.
No,
heat's way worse. When you go into a hockey room, a locker room for an intermission, dressing room, sorry, Rick.
Yeah.
And it's hot as shit. It's miserable.
Yeah,
crank the heat up.
Fair enough.
They used to do this back in the old days. And if I do believe Glenn Saylor did it at least once, the day before the game, paint the dressing room.
It stinks.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be nice. It could use an upgrade.
Use lead-based paint.
Yeah, black tar.
We've been holding that in Rexall for this.
Rogers Place does need a little upgrades in the visiting room. Could use a fresh splash of paint up there.
Turn the hot water off in the away dressing room.
Yep.
Also been done.
Heat up, no hot water, fresh paint.
What hotel are they staying at? Because I'm putting the call out right now to Oiler Nation citizens. Let's make sure we're around their hotel. I don't want any of them getting a good night's sleep.
That's old school radio shit.
It is.
I think only boiling hot water. Like,
so you can't shower.
If we're turning up the heat, you don't want him to get
the price of beer is going to go through the roof as we try and pay for all the hot water.
It's fine as long as we're winning. I couldn't care less.
Anything else on Philip Danault?
Stop crying.
About it.
I just think it's really smart.
Stop crying.
He's getting ahead of it. It's, every projection is a confession at this point. The LA Kings are probably going to be coming after the Oilers at some point during this series. And that way, if he says it first, then when Corey Perry comes out and says, weird how these LA Kings are trying to hurt all of us, then Danault can be like, oh, I already said that. So, yeah, it's right out of the playbook of the LA Kings to be doing that.
I hope that's a comment that, just because Dan mentioned Corey Perry, that Corey Perry kind of hangs on to, because he's the perfect guy to never let that die.
That's true.
There's a couple of guys that
after game
2 of
6.
them may not be playing right now, but hopefully game 1 of them's back. Only game 2 is the other one's back. Those guys all have to put that at the top of their brains and use it.
Do you know one side of this, which is funny, is we've come in the show, I don't know how many times this year,
4,
and just commented on how soft the Oilers are.
Mhm.
Yep.
And for Philip Danault to come out and say,
You're getting
we're
beat up
trying
by
to
these guys?
intentionally hurt them. It's like, buddy, we can barely break out of a wet paper bag some nights. Like, come on.
It took our goalie getting twice concussed in a week
Yeah.
for us to actually wake up and do something.
Corey Perry's had 20 fights this year trying to get this team to wake up.
40-year-old Corey Perry.
And that dude turned him down last night. You might have got turned down twice in 2
Brent
games.
Clark, that guy sucks too.
It is brutal.
I
He's
like
just-
him being
he's-
like, I'm going to kill you.
As he's
Whoa.
like right in the face.
Oh, no, buddy.
The other thing that happened last night, obviously 5-0 loss to the Kings. They cemented home ice, so they are starting on the road, likely on Sunday because the Lakers play Saturday. So it looks like we're kicking off in LA this weekend, probably Sunday.
Any word on the Clippers?
They don't play in a
different
They have their
arena.
own arena now.
No
remember?
way.
Be into it.
Their arena's fucking awesome too.
Yeah, if you haven't gone down the rabbit
I have
hole
not
of their
been down.
arena, it's
Just their
unreal.
scoreboard is worth looking at for
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes.
Is it in the same area?
No, it's in Inglewood.
Always up to no
Which,
good.
they also
Bingo.
made the food like what's the owner called, like Biome?
Bomber.
Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer from Microsoft.
Like part of his thing was he didn't want the food to be that good. He wanted people to watch the basketball. So the food, he's like known to be like fine. Like
So
no one's lining up for the food for very long.
Also,
So they
like
can stay in the
most
seats.
bathrooms per seat in any
Yes.
building in North America, in any stadium in North America.
Wow.
So you could have
Yeah.
made the food better then.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
bet
like you've
you-
already got the
I
bathroom.
bet you there's still lineups for the bathrooms.
I don't know.
I don't think there is. I think it's like
Until they can
Yeah, but-
develop a way for me to pee in my seat, then we're gonna have this issue.
They probably do.
It's
I'm
funny though. They
Are we-
worry about all this
It
stuff. And
I
depends.
think we've talked about this before. You
there
were,
are 1,400 toilets in the arena.
I mean, good.
hold on.
What?
Is wait.
See if you can find how
Is
many
that
toilets.
toilets and urinals together? Do they do they swap bathrooms gender based on like? If they're-
I don't know.
I thought it'd be there.
No, it's not. Compared to Rogers Place,
Go
has
ahead.
485. There's
Close.
900 more.
keeping it pretty
toilets
close
around.
there?
What's the capacity difference? It's got to be pretty close. Probably
And they were
a couple
built
thousand
within like 7 years of each other, 6
Like a
years of each
decade
other.
at least.
18,000 is pretty much the same.
Oh, pretty much the same. Wow, it's smaller.
14,000 toilets.
1,400.
Just an extra
Wow.
1,000.
Every
toilets.
person gets their own.
See, that's insane.
You can just go right at the seat.
Just think.
Do what they do at Commonwealth, where they have those big round ones. that
David
everyone just
Staples
goes,
sings.
Yeah, I
Staples
wash
sink.
my hands in it while Liam's peeing.
"It's
Every
efficient."
seat could literally just be like a porta potty
Saves
type
water
of
that way.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
They have something else there too. Like everyone gets an iPad or something like that. No, that seems crazy. That can't be right.
That's nuts.
Everybody gets an iPad when they go to a Clippers game. Amazing.
Every seat can measure how loud you're being,
Oh,
so
maybe
they
that
can
was
tell who the loudest fans are.
it. Yeah.
The other thing from last night,
They can always- They can probably also tell if you're saying bad things about the team.
probably.
Or just about Microsoft in general.
And Steve
Ooh.
Ballmer's been tracking all of you. And now your Microsoft Office doesn't work. Clippy doesn't pop up for you. Any concerns about home ice going to LA? Obviously,
Nope.
they're very good at home. Oilers are good on the road. They've been very successful at crypto in the playoffs. Any concerns about how the regular season record translates?
No.
Game one is my only concern with this team. Rick doesn't agree with me.
I just said that this team hasn't played a game one yet.
Which is inherently true. I cannot defeat that point.
Thank you.
But I do think that this team traditionally has shown a struggle to get going after breaks. Not saying that this is going to be a long break. However,
Traditionally, they already bucked a trend that we were speaking about earlier, did they not?
the matinee
Yes.
trend.
I feel like game one is the most random game of a series. And if you're gonna slip a punch and catch a team, like maybe starting on the road is good in this sense, where you might just catch the Kings being a little bit off in game one and get them with one. So
Yep.
I don't know. I don't mind it. I'm not all that worried. Like I went and looked back. Obviously, the Kings they've always been good on home ice, but this is like out of this world, unbelievable. 31-5-4.
Don't you all also think that it's probably not really sustainable? Eventually,
maybe.
this has to come to an end.
It's also
Same with Kemper's on fire.
Yeah. Gregor made this point too when it comes to the Winnipeg Jets and how they won the division and still no one's really picking them to go any deeper than a Dallas or a Colorado, right? Like everyone's going one of
That's what we
Dallas or
said too.
Colorado is going on a run.
That's what we were talking about.
But Gregor kind of said like it's in the regular season you're just playing random teams. It's totally different when a team is game planning for you for a week and then gets to play you a bunch of times in a row. And again, maybe that's just something the Oilers can expose with the Kings. I also think it also works a little bit to their depth. Like Edmonton's forward group is so much deeper.
Yes.
I
Then the Kings?
Over 300 points were missing because of 3 dudes last night. That's insane.
How many points does Troy Stetcher have?
Well, Troy Stetcher and Tony Stretcher, they go together, right?
Oh,
Yeah, that's 2 for 1.
We don't know which guy's playing.
they truly are 2 different personalities. Yeah, I'm not worried about it because you only need to win 1 on the road. Just win your home games and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Beat them once in those first 2. Take care of the home games. You win it in 6. We're
chilling.
good.
They lost at home last season against the Kings.
Yes,
And
they
the
did.
year before. And the year before.
Yeah, they've a couple times.
Yeah.
It's time to buck the trend.
And then they went down there and allowed 1 goal in 2 games and scored 7.
But I want to see them do this in 4 just because it was 7 and then 6 and then 5 and just finish them on 4 and watch the organization disintegrate.
Another layer of this is, not to get ahead of ourselves, but I will. The LA Kings, if the Oilers beat them this year, surely have to make some significant changes.
No,
Right?
run it back. Might as well play us a 5th time.
And, like, I just think it's funny. Like, we've obviously joked about the Canucks and Calgary, like, exploding after. It's like, you'd think LA, it's credit to them to just keep running it back.
Just taking down West Division teams one by
They
one.
just keep changing the goalie.
But isn't their structure of kind of being spread out money wise does it not make that hard to do? A quick
change
turnaround? Yeah.
Well,
Because it's like piece in, piece out, piece in, piece out.
but I don't know.
You'd have to
because
see what the
Calgary
contracts
was
are right
kind
now.
of similar, if I'm
Yeah.
remembering correctly. No one's on huge money. Obviously, Gaudreau left as a free agent, and Kachuk traded, and Lindholm traded the year after. Like, those are the 3 big guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Who's
I don't
making the big smoke in LA right now on the offense?
Kopitar
Kopitar.
and Kempe.
Kopitar, yeah.
Just
Dowdy
did
makes
some,
big money too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Still.
Dowdy, yeah.
Yala makes a decent chunk too. I just did some research. Last year, the best home team in the NHL was the Colorado Avalanche, who were eliminated in the second round by the Dallas Stars when they lost all 3 of their home games in that series.
Oh, yeah.
Makes you think.
Makes you think.
They also won every home game in the first round, but we'll skip that. I'm gonna push the other thing as my narrative.
The other thing I want to mention from last night's game, Quinn Hutson made his NHL debut, played 14-27. That was 21 shifts, finished with 1 shot, 2 giveaways, and a -1. What was your first thoughts on our newest toy, Quinn Hutson?
I wish you were laying.
I read the chat, Tyler. You hate him. I've heard.
Apparently, I hate him. I just kind of said he's a very low ceiling prospect. And we had Stephen Ellis on the show today who kind of said the same thing. Like, Ellis's take, as much as he was maybe nicer than how I'm going to put it, if he becomes an everyday NHL player at some point, that's a massive win. Like, that's not his projection in Ellis's eyes. So again, it's a good bullet to take and a good shot to take because you need to do that when your prospect pool is depleted. And I hope the Oilers have a hidden gem here and he develops great. And halfway through next year, we have an everyday player. But again, I'm not getting overly excited about it.
How many guys did we sign so far this year?
9.
9? You didn't ask him then. Where do you rank him amongst everybody they signed then in terms of guys who guaranteed NHL to no chance?
So he had David Tomasek, the leader from the SHL they signed. He had him, who's a center right winger, as like he is an NHLer. He's ready to contribute next season. Can play center, right shot. And then the Finnish defenseman Ellis was kind of the second highest
R2 or something
on.
like that?
Yeah,
Lepinen.
That's
and
it.
then the third was kind of the Hutson, Samaneski, that mush of guys who he said are more long shots.
Now, what about it with the Russian guy they're trying to sign? The kid, not even trying to say his name.
Bergiokin.
Yeah, that's the guy.
He is apparently unbelievable.
He could play in the playoffs.
If
got him.
Locomotive gets eliminated.
What are the chances
of
we get him
said Russian
signed?
coming?
Closer than it has been in the past.
Does
I would
Pod
say.
Colson have his phone number?
They would be probably have played in some teams together. Pods was drafted 2021. This kid was drafted 2020. I would imagine they've got some ties.
Maybe Kleem put in a good word for us.
Maybe we sign Kleem all Russian line next year.
Where is
Or I think
Cleveland?
he's San Jose.
Not playing though.
He was not. Yeah, he's on the roster. He's getting paid by them. Yes.
Interesting.
Klim Costin.
They're both 23 years old.
He was the old
He only played
HS.
35 games this year with.
He was the old healthy scratch when he was in town here the other night.
Oh yeah, you say hello.
Not face to face, unfortunately.
Oh, back to back.
They
Something like that.
Bergiokin and Podkolzin would have played together on the U17 team in Russia one year.
There you go. Call him up, Pods.
Give him a call.
Give him a little roaring.
Although Podcolson probably needs to keep his spot. I don't know if I'd
Stay
call
away
him.
from here. It's no good. I want to keep my spot.
The other thing I want to mention from last night's game really quickly, 600 games for Connor Brown. He's really started to turn it up down the stretch, which he seems to do. That seems to be his thing. Shout out to him.
Playoff guy.
It's a nice little milestone.
I definitely did not agree with you totally last week when you brought up that line in the playoffs, but I think I'm fully on board with starting game one with Skinner, Connor, and Brown. And then if they can do what they're doing right now, allowing the other guys who would normally be on that line to go down to the third line and take advantage of that competition level.
Because you won't have last change. That's huge.
You could just do it
Yeah.
for the first two games.
That's if you can get going, I think that gives a new dynamic to this team that we thought we had at the beginning of the year when these guys we want them to produce.
Mhm.
But now that they finally are producing, some other guys can filter their way down and take advantage of competition levels that are going to be well below them against LA.
I just think that's going to come down to what McDavid wants more than anything.
I think one thing that's interesting this season is how less Zach Hyman has played with McDavid.
Mm-hmm.
They've really spread him out, and there's obviously the idea of like, look how much Hyman's fallen off. He had he finished with 54 last season, whatever it was. And it's like, I don't think his Hyman has fallen off. I just think they've spread him out so much, and
He fell off a little bit.
He also,
I don't think he had a bad start to the season.
I would say, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like at the beginning of the season, he had so many good chances and just couldn't get them to go.
And when
Yeah.
the bubble came off, he had a little dip again.
Yeah, that's true.
Playoff bubble.
Bring him back.
Playoff bubble.
I don't know. I wonder if Hyman can give you the same as Brown. Well, I know he can.
Yeah, but I'd rather have Hyman taking advantage of playing the third line players because I think he can do more damage versus the third line than Connor Brown can. I think he just has more of an offensive upside to the point where he can like drive his own goals, where I don't think Connor Brown can take advantage of that opportunity as well as Hyman can.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like if you can somehow get Nuge and Hyman and Kane or Frederick on that third line,
I would have Podkolzin, Nuge, and Arvidsson on my third line.
I don't have Podkolzin in the lineup. Well, no, when we're fully healthy, I don't have Podkolzin in the lineup.
I do. I think the physicality that he's going to be able to bring.
Are you confident putting Podkolzin out there in the Janmark spot in 2 minutes to go in the game and penalty killing? Because that's what it's going to come down to. Because the roster question going in, like the forwards, it's really only one guy. It's only two guys. It's either Janmark or Podkolzin. That's the only real.
Yeah.
Outside of when you pull out Jones and Phillip and whoever the hell else is not going to be in the lineup, there is only one actual question with the forwards, and it's Janmark over Podkolzin. That is it.
I am
when healthy.
More than comfortable of taking Janmark out over Podkolzin. I think Podkolzin,
like you're in your own zone, you're confident with him.
I think he's good. Yeah, I mean, Janmark's not exactly known as like a great puck handler either.
No, but he controls that puck in our own end, and he's able to get out of dangerous situations a lot better, I believe. And he does it. Maybe that you don't see it out of Podkolzin as much, but you definitely see it out of Janmark.
Tyler's making faces over there. What do you got?
Yeah, I know. It's these little things that
I think they're very, very similar. I don't see a big drop off in quality between the two of them.
Face-offs, I guess, is a positive.
It's 6-on-5 with 35 seconds to go. You're okay having Podkolzin out there?
I don't want either of them on the ice.
Yeah,
because Janmark's going to be out there.
I think
in most cases, I believe.
I don't know.
I think Rick is going with like leaning towards the coach decision here.
They do.
That's just what I see on. That's what I see on the and you would like to see numbers kind of like fix themselves back to the mean, which mean Janmark is going to pop a couple in the playoffs if you believe that numbers kind of go back to average.
I don't.
A couple other notes that could affect the playoffs. Obviously, Mattias Ekholm is expected to miss the first round. Massive hole. No other way to slice it.
Yeah, that sucks.
What do you think the injury is?
I have no idea.
With him, nobody knows. Like it could be literally anything.
I think it's knee or ankle.
I think it might be
just watching like, and I don't think that if he took that one game off, that he would have been 100% fine for game one. I think they got to the point where we don't know if you're going to be ready to go or not. We don't think you're going to be ready to go or not. Do you want to try and see if you can play through this? He said, yeah, okay, let me try and see if I can't play through this. Didn't work out. And I don't think like they rushed him back and he re-hurt himself.
And then the fact he was like struggling to like stay on his feet.
I think it's ankle ligaments. I don't know why.
There's also the ankle leg, and they mentioned on the broadcast a lot, which is 100% true, that being good in practice is completely different than being good in an NHL game.
Yeah. That's why Kane should do the conditions. Then
the more you guys have talked about it, the more I think it is a core issue, and it's something where it is, like you said, Bag Milk. It's something where he doesn't even activate maybe that muscle.
But the only thing is when he fell both times on the ice, that didn't look like a core thing to me. That looked like he had stability issues. And I think the knee would have been a little bit different. And I think this is like an ankle issue. That's why
we did speculate core, right? That's something we've thought about. I believe that Marty Havlat has been brought up on this podcast.
Yeah, I think that was previous that it was. But after seeing that game, I think just watching him fall, and it was like, I think he fell on his own the first time in our own zone. Yeah. And then it was almost a clip of the feet around the blue line. Mm-hmm. And the way he goes off, and he's not really like hunching over or holding the stomach or anything like that. It just says to me it's a lower body injury, and it's knee or foot or ankle. And I don't think it's the Achilles, but that's also another worry.
Better news, and I'm paraphrasing, Evander Kane feels he's going to be ready to go for game 1.
Whoa. Oh, Achilles.
Liam's next out. Walking wounded. Go ahead, Tom.
Again, hopefully we get the best Evander Kane we've seen in a while here, because that would be a massive boost. Like if you're dropping in the 25 plus goal, hat trick every 9 games, Evander Kane, and we get that guy flashing up to 7 against the Kings after the empty netter, like if you get that guy, it's a massive, massive boost. If not, I also hope he can find a way to just do some little things and be effective as a fourth liner if he's not the old Evander Kane, which I think is obviously a possibility when someone comes off this long of an absence and this serious of an injury. So I'm hopeful that even if he's not at 100% when it comes to his ability to impact the game, that he's committed to being a good role player for this team, because he can still bring value in that regard.
Dan, thoughts on Kane?
Yeah, I mean, I made the joke online today. I think that watching that game was probably a good thing for Evander Kane to just get that fire going. Yeah, get that rage built up. And I can only imagine he's going to come into game 1 engaged. I do agree with you, Tyler. I think that Oiler fans need to still kind of temper their expectations with him, just because we talked about it with literally every other injury. Practice is different than gameplay. And so there's going to be that. But between the whistles, I think, is where Evander Kane can really make his presence felt against the Kings.
Well, there's going to be 2 versions of him, right? There's the offensive version of him, and there's the assholey, blue collar, physical guy. And I think you could go 2 years and not play and still play that physical game essentially as well, and give yourself time for your hands to warm up. I think I start him off on the 3rd line, keep Podkolzin on 2, keep Skinner on 1, not fill his plate too much with offensive expectations. Let him get his feet wet physically, get out there, feel confident in himself, and then let him find his scoring touch on his own.
I might put him on I think I'd sign him on the 4th line. Just have him there.
But who are you bumping up? Then the 4th line is someone's going to be playing the 3rd line that you probably don't want there, no?
No.
Yeah.
who are the 4 left wingers then in this case?
Jeff.
Yes. Pods.
Trent.
Oh, Trent. Well, I don't have Trent. We're playing for game 1.
Vasily. Evander.
All right.
Cinnamon. Connor. Leon. Ryan. Adam.
Right.
Derek Ryan.
Right wing. What's his name? Connor.
Okay.
Zach.
Right.
Victor.
Right.
Corey.
Dig it.
My concern with Kane, I guess, is that when he finally gets back, he's going to be shot out of a cannon to the point where he like aggravates something.
Possible.
But he's going to be so excited to go that he's just going to be like dog on a bone.
The only thing is I think he's been ready for a while here, but you can't do anything obviously with LTI and bullshit like that. So I think the fear of him like going out there and hurting himself, I hope is kind of very minimal, but I just want to see him go out there and set the tone in the way that almost he can only do from this team.
One comment I did like from him when he said that he would play.
He
he's
feels better now than he did the last time he played.
yeah, and he's like, also I played on one leg last playoffs, which to me is an encouraging thing. Being like,
That's
he can
what I
go
was
through. It takes him a lot to fall out of the lineup.
Yes.
Also, he just had a kid, so congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Fourth daughter, I think.
I don't know.
They just got
He
him
has
home.
a son.
So
They
fourth child.
just got her home. They had her like a month ago.
Well, congratulations from a month
Nope.
ago.
Now she's out of the
Fresh
hospital.
baby at the
That's
King
good.
household. Let's talk a little betting. I've got some playoff talk to get to. Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code NATION to get in on the game. Please be 19 years old or older, and please play responsibly. All right. Looking at Bet365. Is anybody surprised, Tyler, I'll start with you, that the Oilers are favored at minus 140 to win the series against the Kings? The Kings are currently at plus 120 as underdogs.
Beat them 3 years in a row. I think you can look at the injuries and see that the Oilers are going to be a better team come playoff time than they were in the regular season. And public money is always going to push this thing a little bit. There are way more people. If they would have flipped this, if they would have started it at minus 110 either side, I just think they would have opened themselves up to an onslaught of Oilers bets. So I think public money and the general idea that the Oilers have their best hockey still in front of them, along with the history, it's not surprising at minus 140. Honestly, if I would have had to guess, I thought they might have opened it like minus 180.
Dan, thoughts on the Oilers being favorited?
It's just to piggyback off what Tyler's saying there. It's important to remember that sports books are trying to get even action on either side of the line there, and they recognize that the Edmonton Oilers are definitely one of the early cup favorites, and honestly, just one of the public cup favorites. So that will always tease the line a little bit against our better favor.
Rick, Liam, thoughts on the Oilers being favorites?
It's kind of where I expected it, to be honest with you.
I was hoping they were underdogs, so I could bet it.
I was hoping they were going to be dogs too.
To be fair, you can still bet it.
I could, and I will.
Checking in on the Oilers Cup odds. They have not moved since we last spoke about it, but still plus 900, though they have slid down the list slightly. They're now sixth as the favorites on Bet365. I wrote about that on Oilers Nation. I think
Take
that
your
the
eyes off
underdog
us.
mentality is a good thing here.
Go look out east. There's a lot of things going out east. They just gotta, Montreal just got a fancy new toy. He's gonna take a lot of attention out
They
there.
might have it off too.
I heard he's the best prospect ever.
Ever.
He's pretty sick.
Ever.
Crazy.
Allegedly.
His goal last night was great.
It's nasty.
Good hands.
Oh, they had to play in overtime too, where they had broken it up and he had flown the zone, and the whole crowd was just screaming for
To
whoever
get
the
that
defenseman was to
breakaway
pass
pass?
it to him, and they couldn't get it to him.
What do you think about the shootouts?
I mean, they had to do what they did. Like, to me, that's just the refs on the ice butchering it. That's not the NHL messing anything.
Well, the NHL said they were called down to the box before Line went, but the on-ice officials couldn't. But isn't that just a quick hit the horn?
Yeah, should be.
But the horn isn't in the penalty box. The horn's upstairs. So, like, you gotta
Stop it.
You gotta radio up and be like, "Hey, blow the horn."
For real?
In Edmonton, the horn is the big button upstairs.
Where?
Come on.
Did anybody else?
I do know what you're talking about.
Where's
Yeah.
this big button upstairs?
There's got to be a switch downstairs that you can use.
There might be like a smaller one,
just
but I
'cause,
think
like-
it's all headsets and radio.
But just thinking of like a stoppage in play or a review that has to
Maybe
go
it's that
like
light.
Yeah.
There's a light on down there. I think it's
You know what? I say bring back the guy who used to park himself behind the net. Bring that back. Bring
Yeah.
that guy back.
Yeah.
AI is always getting rid of jobs.
How did
Oh.
nobody just notice the puck was
I was
there? The
gonna
puck
say.
just disappeared.
Or the ref just skate behind the net and just be
Yeah.
like, the puck's gone.
Yeah, like hold on a
It's
second.
gone forever.
All right, guys, hold on a second here. Did anybody see the puck go over the glass? Because I didn't. No? No one
No.
saw? Okay, cool. Well, we don't know where the puck is right now.
Yeah.
So the goalie, for one, if it's stuck in your equipment, let's figure out getting it out, because if another guy comes
Yeah.
down and blah, blah. I mean, the last goal almost happened like that too, didn't it? Or the last attempt?
Yeah, it went
When it went straight up in the air and you're like the goaltender was almost too nonchalant. I was like, oh dear, this can like drop and fall into
Like-
the net.
That was a huge mistake by the official.
Massive. All four of them.
Insane. Like, also too, when you skate behind the net, you can just clearly see the puck is just.
You're not
wrapped
going
behind
to
the post.
look there though. Like
But
where
if-
it was,
but if
you're
can't
probably not
find-
going to look
if
at.
You can't find
Yes,
the puck.
now you have to start worrying
You
about
should
it.
just look at the net. I mean, like, where is it?
Because when they said, "Oh shit, I think it's a goal," and but like they're like, "Oh, like I think something's happening right now. It's a goal."
Yeah.
I thought it went like under his arm, and like somehow snuck in right at the bottom of the post there where you wouldn't have seen it go in. Because I was like, I did not see where that puck went. So I assumed it got wrapped up in his equipment.
Nazar, who clearly thought he had scored and did, could have just gone to the officials and been like, yeah, I put the backhand in the net.
Hey guys, I watched it.
Yeah, I did it.
Because I think he puts his hands up.
Yeah,
he kind of puts his arms up. Yeah.
One last bet I want to look at. The player to score the most goals in this first round.
Evander Kane.
Looking just at the leaders
How much is it?
now. Let me know if anybody sticks out to you. Draisaitl plus 300. McDavid plus 450. Kempe plus 600. Fiala plus 600. Hyman's plus 650. And then Byfield is next up.
This is goals, not points, correct?
Goals, yeah.
All right.
Any of those favorites stick out to you? It's hard not to pick Draisaitl.
Draisaitl. McDavid was what? 450?
Plus 450, yeah.
I like that one too. I feel like he'll turn it up.
Hyman just,
I was
again,
just going to say Hyman.
power play merchant.
Owns the Kings a little bit in the playoffs.
The Oilers power play owns the Kings in the playoffs as well. Like I'd be very, very intrigued with a little plus 650 Zach Hyman action.
Mm-hmm.
What are Connor's future line mates in Skinner and it's ridiculous, but Connor Brown?
So 75-1 on Connor Brown.
75-1, a little sprinkle.
Yeah, that might take a.
It's Kevin from
that
the
might
office,
be a $10 bill there.
Our new Fernando Pisani.
Yeah, if John Mollendijk is up for an Oscar, you have to bet on him.
Yeah, you got to do it.
No, who
isn't John?
No,
Mollendijk?
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh, Mellencamp. Yeah.
Yes.
But like, Connor Brown, it would have to be a series where like the Oilers win it quick.
Yep.
4 games. I'm charting the path. I'm manifesting. Oilers win it quick, like they sweep them. They win one of the games like 2-0, where the goals are like Connor Brown and like Podkolzin.
Yeah.
And then Connor Brown is like an empty netter and a 2-goal game somewhere in a blowout. And then you can chart your way to like he gets 4 and no one else gets 4.
What's Jeff Skinner?
33.
Dude has never, ever seen the playoffs. He's going to be jacked up. Yeah. He gets Connor as his centerman going in. He just closes his eyes and starts picking corners all game.
Wouldn't it be great if it was a little revenge goal for Victor Arvidsson? He's 28-1.
That'd be great.
Hopefully he can kind of become a bit ratty.
I'd like to see
tie.
Ratty, no tie.
Huh?
Tie?
Tie?
Ready?
The answer.
Oh,
some of the other Oilers on here, just in case you're curious. Adam Henrique plus 7,500, Brown 7,500, Corey Perry 7,500, Kasperi Kapanen plus 10,000. Shout out to Kevin from the office, and Mattias Janmark is plus 25,000 if you're really getting frisky.
Frisky.
He's a playoff performer.
Yeah.
Listen,
25. That is a disrespectful line.
That's another $5.
That's just a quick little sprinkle.
I wouldn't waste a cent on that. You may as well just send him an envelope with a $5 bill in it.
Listen, Rick and I are planning out our retirement. You're not going to enjoy any of it. All right, let's wrap up the podcast. One last game in the regular season against San Jose Sharks coming up tomorrow night. So let's just do some game expectations for game 82. Shout out to our friends at Mobilize who did a collab t-shirt and hoodie with Nation Gear. Designs are inspired by Warrior Energy, Spirit Makers, and the land we know as Edmonton. The collection is more than just fashion. It's a way to give back. A portion of net proceeds from the Oilers Nation Mobilize hoodies and tees will benefit the Indigenous Sport Council of Alberta. So we got San Jose. One more game, game 82. Don't know who's playing. Somebody will play. What do you
We're going to see a lot of our better players, I think.
Connor's going to get 1 point to get to 100, and Connor will play under 13 minutes. Those are my 2 predictions.
Leon play tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's what they said before.
Yeah, I think he will. They'll get the 2 of them going. I think one thing they maybe will want to do is get that power play maybe back up and
totally. It was stunk last night.
Oh my God. It was working in reverse somehow. I think maybe getting some of those power play guys together and playing it will be important.
Now, do you mix up the power play at all?
No.
Or you just kind of go back to Old Faithful?
Old Faithful.
Yeah.
I would actually go back to Old Faithful and then just keep Bouchard, what they call McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice and just have like Skinner and Arvidsson instead of throwing like a second unit.
No, they have done that numerous times
and
this
I would
year.
just keep doing it.
If you don't have Connor in the lineup, I think you need to have Nurse out there. The way I think Nurse has the ability to enter the zone, not like Connor, but in a certain way that
he had a great play last night where he
right up the middle. Like everyone's just waiting for like a drop pass. I'm like, he's like, oh shit, I got a hole here. He's fast enough, strong enough that if Connor isn't the one carrying it, I'd look at giving it to him.
Well, he's the most athletic player on this team.
Yeah.
And it's not even.
And he won't do that stupid thing where he gets half a foot inside the blue line and dish it off to the first guy standing right, who's flat-footed and as a defender closer to them than I am to you.
It was
Don't like
pretty
that.
close.
Not a fan.
No, I was losing my mind over yes. And then every time the puck gets to the middle, 3 guys are there, start backing away.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of not moving at all.
Nope.
It was
Too
annoying.
bad.
Dan,
Nice to be
expectations,
suspended.
game 82 versus the San Jose Sharks.
I expect them to win the first or second period and just be done with the Sharks and be on to the playoffs. So yeah, I just think early and often.
Rick?
Yeah, I think you're going to see Connor and Leon stretch their legs a little bit. You've got a couple of guys out there who'll probably like to get a goal or a point or something like that. Just kind of get. So this could be one of those games where San Jose has enough youth on this team too, where I don't think they're mailing it in.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be trying. If you had a bunch of 27-year-olds,
mailing it in though.
yeah, if you had
he's already
a bunch of
planned on vacation.
27-year-olds, I could see them kind of going like, whatever, let's just get out to the beach or whatever you're supposed to do in Man Jose. But I can see the Oilers going and putting them 5 or 6.
Breaking news. Can I get a button? Don't look.
Am I going to be at?
The big guy is smoking hot.
What's a right-handed player? So it's not
Connor
the.
Carrick has been recalled from the Bakersfield Condors.
Connor Carrick, I forgot he was around.
I
Yeah.
did not see that one coming.
Big chillin'.
Former
That's on
Leaf.
us.
Okay.
No relation to Sam.
Well, I changed my key to the game.
Yeah,
Connor
it's
Carrick,
all
lead
Connor
the
Carrick.
offense.
Key to the
Go.
game.
You have no
Connor cubed.
line to the syrup fortune, Connor Carrick.
Connor Cube going into tomorrow.
Does this mean that someone else isn't playing?
Probably.
Or are they so disappointed with Josh Brown and Cam Dineen that they're like, gotta see what Carrick's got?
They just promised him one game when they signed him.
Yeah.
What do you expect for tomorrow?
Not a lot. I'm expecting.
It's probably the right answer.
Honest.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like last night, Kasperi Kapanen played 17 minutes. I expect that to probably happen again, and
Yeah.
to Max Jones to get some opportunities. I think the power play conversation is a good shout. Like that should encourage them to get those guys back and get rolling. But other than that, like I just expect them to get through this game, and I think the way that they've had so many injuries recently, they'll just basically have it so guys can just get their legs back underneath them.
They've recalled him on an emergency basis. Therefore, it has to be another injury, no?
They might get some leeway with Nurse.
Oh yeah, Daryl.
And
So
no, it's because they played short yesterday. So once you play short, you open up the ability to bring guys up on emergency.
Fair, but I just assumed that
Oh, but they can't replace them
tomorrow we're not playing short.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
they
that's
go-
the point. If you play short once, then you activate emergency basis. So the next game you don't have to play short.
I agree, but I just meant like guys are coming back to the point where you're not going to need to do
But
that.
Nurse won't be back.
Potentially.
So then we're talking. There's a one gamer
He
here.
hasn't
that-
had his hearing yet. It's not till tonight. But no, I just think they're probably just exercising this as a caution thing. You have the ability to do it, so why wouldn't you do it? This doesn't mean Carrick's playing or even going to San Jose, but
And they're
It's getting the
in
bat
San
off
Jose.
your shoulder.
How far of a drive is that?
I don't know.
20 minutes.
I think about 20, 25.
I would assume.
15, 20 minutes.
Depends on
Jump
traffic.
the bus.
Get a quick Uber.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe get like a lime
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, with your bag on your back.
down the, and I don't know if it is, but I'm going to assume it is down the coast.
Hollywood Boulevard.
Really nice. Yep. Quick stop at the Roxy and you're right there.
It is Bakersfield to San Jose. Just a quick 3 hour and 40-minute drive.
Ooh, that's a
How about-
long
what
time
does
on a
Google
bird.
say on a lime, though?
that's going to be.
Well, for a walk, it takes 6 days.
What's the?
So,
Well,
Well, you're going faster on a.
yeah.
You're getting up to 20 kilometers an hour.
so
Come on.
3 days.
20K.
Come on.
Walk pretty fast.
My expectation for tomorrow's game is that Connor and Leon both play under 15 minutes.
And
And
Connor
most
gets
of that
his
is on the
point.
power play.
And Connor gets his point.
Oh,
Connor
yeah,
gets
that's
his
I kind of annoyed they didn't play last night.
No, I'm happy he didn't.
Yeah, but if he didn't get the point
Danault
last
would
night,
have
then he
hurt
had
him.
one more try. Like, I'm going to be really
But-
annoyed if he does this finishes at 99.
I don't think you will.
I won't.
I don't think so either, but now you're leaving yourself with only 60 minutes
I
instead
think
of
he finishes
120.
at 103.
I was just going to say 102 or 103.
Yeah,
It's more
I
like
completely see that.
All right, score prediction time tomorrow.
Oh,
Oilers? Question mark?
I saw Doug Gilmore when I was in Winnipeg. Just wanted to throw
Mr.
that out there.
Dougie.
What the hell was he doing in
Behind me
Winnipeg?
in the security line.
Did you call him Dougie?
I didn't say a word to him. Didn't know it was him until someone told me.
Security line for the bus. Eh? And they're really taking their bus ride seriously.
Yeah.
Winnipeg. Score prediction tomorrow. Some form of Oilers versus San Jose Sharks. Liam.
4-2 empty net. Connor McDavid gets his point on the empty net.
5-2 Edmonton.
Dan.
5-0 Edmonton.
Oh,
Tyler.
4-1.
we got a Stu goalie, right? Too.
A goalie goal?
Sure.
Awesome.
Oh, you broke
I'm
the
going to go
table.
ahead and say you're going to enjoy an 8-1 win to wrap up the regular season. We will be back on Friday with a playoff preview. Bye-bye.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.